All right, so 6 key content promotion strategies that I recommend and I use all day, every day. Number one, Twitter direct outreach. So go on BuzzSumo, find popular articles on competitor websites or in the niche that you're in, the market that you're in. Click view sharers on those relevant articles and either reach out to these people by email to get them to promote your article when it comes out. And you're basically just saying, hey, I'm creating an awesome article that's related to this article that you just shared. I think you might like it. Can I send you over a link to share with your audience? Or reach them by Twitter and just send them a link and say, hey, I thought you might be interested in this because you shared this, and link the article that they shared. Here's a template that you can use directly. So it's subject, the name of the article that they shared, whatever it is. Hey, first name, I noticed that you tweeted one of my favorite posts on, whatever, then the article name and from the author. I actually have a content marketing guide or, whatever type of article you have that I'm sending out next week. And it's really comprehensive, provides lots of actionable tips, list out whatever the benefits are of your article, why it's better than the other one, and just say one heads up when it goes live. Cheers, your signature. P.S. Let me know if there's anything I can help you with. That's a good thing, the little thing to add in there. I typically use it for kind of customer development. Works really, really well. Number 2, influencers. Influencers are awesome. Influencers, when they share your content, absolutely knock it out of the park. So easy way to do that is when you're mentioning those influencers in your article, either use something like contentmarketer.io, which is about $19 to run that. And it's going to scan your article. It's going to find references and mentions and links out to influencers. And it's going to compile that, find their Twitter profiles, and it's going to let you tweet those people out right from the platform. Or you can do this all manually and look at anybody who you've referenced or mentioned or have links to, find their Twitter profile when you go through their website, and just tweet them and say, hey, I mentioned you in this article. I'd love it if you give it a share. Or just say, hey, I mentioned you in this article. P.S. You're awesome. I typically get a really high share ratio when I say P.S. You're awesome or P.S. You have awesome content, something really, really kind of personal, but it is mass sent out. Number 3, translate content. English is definitely not the most spoken language on the planet anymore. So translate content to tap into bigger audiences that are much less competitive and easier to dominate SEO-wise. When I started looking at the Spanish market about a year or so ago, the Spanish market was super basic. If you wrote an article that was 1,000 to 2,000 words on digital marketing, you could rank on the first page, typically in the first position, because people really didn't make use of SEO backlinks. They didn't have a full-on SEO strategy in place. It was all just about putting out the old school 500-word like SEO-driven articles that really didn't do anything for you. So if you look at any of those up and emerging markets like Hindi, Mandarin, Spanish, Portuguese, Arabic, Japanese and Russian are awesome for this, Punjabi as well. If you look at any of those languages where they're still a bit behind the times, they don't really do much in the way of SEO and all that, they're really easy to tap into and really easy to get really awesome results in. So aim for the bigger populations with a high GDP if you have a paid product. If you're just trying to generate leads and you want to build an email list, that's perfectly fine. Go for the market that speaks Hindi, go for the market that speaks Punjabi. There's not going to be a whole lot of people going after it. But if you want people that are going to be able to buy your product, you do have to look at the GDP of the country where it's most spoken. You have to start looking at what are the revenues and household incomes and things like that. But there's a lot of languages out there that you can go after. Have the content translated manually and professionally, not automated. If you go and do automated content, Google can still detect it. They have massive offices of people all over the world. They are going to know that you're just putting out garbage content, and they will penalize you for it. So go to a professional. It's not going to cost you a lot of money. They'll be able to translate it for you, and it'll be done properly. And very oftentimes, you can also leverage the same reference links that you've originally used if you've gone out and built those links. Or you can try and get the person who's translating your article to find relevant links in their country's typical publications. So, if you're linking out to something like Bloomberg magazine here in the US, there is a division of it in Spain and Brazil. And those are going to be opportunities for you to link out there and build up that authority and build up that trust in the localized market. Number 4, Q.co. I love this site so much, I thought it deserved to be its own strategy. Q.co is amazing. It's a very simple software platform that allows you to connect up your Buffer account, and they will curate content for you. The benefit is you can also pay Q.co to submit articles and get them into their curation. They do a lot of quality checking to make sure that they are relevant. So you can't just post up SEO garbage. You have to post up really solid quality content, but they will promote it for you and they'll put it into those certain categories and segments. So from anywhere from $0, because they do have some topics that don't have a lot of content yet, all the way up to $30, where you can reach 100,000, 200,000 people on Twitter. You only pay between $0 and $30 to get that out there. And here's just a screenshot of some of the original stuff that I did. But now, if you go on Twitter, you search at JamilVelji altogether, you're going to find a whole bunch of people who are sharing out some of my more basic content articles, like what is content marketing, what is marketing automation. What is content marketing has probably had over 1,000 shares from Q.co onto Twitter alone. Never mind Facebook, Google+, LinkedIn, anything else. Just on Twitter. It really is that good, and I paid $30 for it. Totally worth it when you consider I have over 1,000 people that have come back to my website because of that $30, and they're all targeted, they're all pre-qualified, they're interested in content marketing. Number 5, Facebook ads. It's plain and simple. It's one of the best places. Facebook direct ads specifically. Don't do the boosted posts. It's not targeted enough. You're not going to get down to the level of people that you're after. I personally find it very useless when it comes down to it. If you do regular Facebook ads, your targeting's on point, you're going to get an amazing result out of it. And if you're really dialed in on your messaging and on your interest target, so like this example over here is my article around 9 sales funnels you can steal, customize, and publish in minutes. Super high value being delivered there. And on that article, that's both of these 2 screenshots below, driven over 500 clicks to that article with these 2 campaigns as well as others. And I'm getting under a 20-cent cost per click Canadian. In US dollars, that's even lower. But if you have your targeting down, you have your messaging down, getting a 5-cent to 20-cent cost per click is definitely not unheard of. That's relatively common, actually. Getting beyond that is really when you get into the B2B markets, the ones that are relatively niche. You are going to be looking at 20 to 50 cents a click. But if you compare it to any other place where you drive traffic and you're paying $1 to $2 a click, people are not going to be as interested in diving further into your website than if they're coming for content. Make sure you have really effective opt-ins in place, though, because there's a large volume of traffic that you can send there, but it's really going to be all about how many can you pull into your email list at the end of the day and how many of those can be pulled into your customer list as well. So when I drive traffic to any of these, if I look at this 9 sales funnels you can steal example, we've collected emails at about an 8% conversion rate. We're collecting emails at about 8%. Out of everybody who clicks on this article, 1 out of 30 is actually taking us up on some of our affiliate offers that are tied in there into ClickFunnels. So we've generated around $1,000 or $2,000 in monthly recurring revenue out of that. And then there's other offers in there for like this course and a couple of other things. So overall, our opt-in rate into lead or sale or anything else is upwards of 20%. And when you look at opt-in rate into something that's sales focused, that's revenue driven, it's about 4 or 5%, which is not too bad. We're generating about $10 to $15 for every dollar put in, which is really awesome. Number 6, social communities. And this can really be as far or, it can be as big or as small as you want to make it. Basically it's really going out there, finding social communities on Google+, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, all of which would fit your target audience. So in my example, if my target audience was tech companies, I would look at LinkedIn and I'd say, okay, I want to look for groups that have startup co-founders, startup founders. I want to look for companies that talk about SaaS, which is software as a service. I want to look at groups that are talking about software companies. I want to look at groups that are talking about just founders in general, because that's a pretty typical term to the tech industry. And similarly with Google Plus and Facebook, I'd look at, where entrepreneurs, where tech company people, where founders, and I'd just look at those communities, build up my list. And then what you want to do, there's one of two things that you can do here. One is kind of the longer approach, much better approach for building authority and trust. Share snippets from the articles that you have and basically have a simple call to action at the end, just saying, hey, here, this is tip 1 out of 10 in an actual long form post that I created. If you're interested in actually getting the post, just comment below. I'll send you over a link. Nice and simple. It doesn't sound spammy, but what you're going to get is, if it really dials in again, if the messaging's good and the article's good, you're going to get a lot of people commenting back and saying, hey, I'd love to check it out. Some groups do allow you to just share content flat out. In some of the entrepreneur and tech community groups that I frequent, they do just let you share articles, but they do curate it to a certain extent. If you're just sharing an affiliate piece that's just all kind of useless garbage and all about selling, they're going to absolutely take that out in a second. But if you're sharing content that is really solid and it really solves a pain, and you're actually giving actionable advice, they will allow that in there, and it drives a good amount of traffic.